you are at the pinnacle of what you do. And so I always love to hear about people's habits and really what habits did you have to nurture to become the songwriter and the artist that you've become?
Well, I definitely feel like the theory of 10,000 hours has been one that I've applied and put into practice. I don't know that you're always mindful of it while you're doing it, but years and years of building up the discipline of writing songs. For me, I have a lot of different titles these days. Musician, recording artist. In terms of my career, I write books, I have a podcast, different things. But at my core, I've always felt like a songwriter at heart. Like that's my first love musically or career wise, if for lack of a better way of saying it. And I found myself. Once I discovered the ability to tell my story through a 3-minute song, that just lit me up. And I wanted to do it over and over again. And my wife will even tell you that she could tell if I haven't written a song in a couple weeks, like if my schedule demands have pulled me away from that creative zone, because she'll tell me I'm in a bad mood. She's like, you need to go write a song. Like that's kind of how it is for me. It's a little bit like oxygen, musical oxygen. So I definitely have put in the years of work in learning how to write songs. And it's like any type of skill set. It's like exercising in the gym, like developing those muscles, those instincts. And a lot of my story, though, I love to share the reality that much of my story as a songwriter was forged out of the power of the word rejection. And what I mean by that is I moved to Nashville with aspirations to sign a record deal, Andrew, where I was going to be the guy in the front, on stage and become some big star. But for 4 years in Nashville, I received no yeses. I received all no's, all rejection. Every record label turned me down. And during that 4 years, you know what happened? I started developing as a songwriter. I kept my head down and I kept writing and writing and writing. And so actually, my first opportunities came as a songwriter as a result of the rejection I was facing, wishing that other door was going to open for me to be the singer. Instead, I started having opportunities to write songs behind the scenes for other recording artists. And so all these years later, I can smile now to see, man, rejection is never rejection when you know who the author of your story is. Rejection is always keep your eyes on him and keep faithfully working, putting in the time, and daring to believe that God's plan for us is bigger than our own. So I'm thankful for the rejection that I faced in my life because it really taught me the discipline of songwriting.
Well, I mean, that's just such a powerful testimony. Most people don't think they'll find success through rejection. I mean, that's oftentimes, sometimes what you have to go through. But I want to talk about how early did you figure out that you had that songwriting desire and eventually ability? Like you grew up as a pastor's kid, right? Did you start writing as early as a child?
No, man, Andrew, I was a knucklehead, man. I thought I was going to be a professional baseball player. I was way off. I thought I was going to, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs and man, everybody, it's crazy because when I look back now, I see that God had put people in my path all the time that were telling me it was almost like all these people, like you ever see the movie Bruce Almighty where that old guy shows up all the time throughout the movie and he's holding a sign and nobody's paying attention to the warning that he's giving. I feel like for me, I had people in my life, when I look on the road of my life, there were people that were holding a sign saying, music, music, you have a gift. God has a plan for you. But I had blinders on and all I saw was, I'm going to be the starting first baseman for the Chicago Cubs. Well, I'm talking to you today from Nashville, Tennessee, in my recording studio, which is the proof of, the fact that our ideas and our dreams, as well intended as they might be, they don't come close to what God's plan for us is. And I always remember my dad would coach me in this, and he would use terminology that he knew would resonate with me. And he'd say, son, your dreams are good, but at best, they're minor league dreams compared to God's major league plan for you. And so I guess you could say I made it to the major leagues, just in a totally different profession. And instead of a wooden baseball bat, I'm holding a guitar. And so long story short, I didn't start writing songs until I was 18 years old. And I was graduating from high school. My dad bought me my first guitar. And I swear, I literally put down a baseball bat, put down my glove, and picked up a guitar. And the rest was history. The minute I started learning to play the guitar, I was just like, oh, this is awesome, man. Girls dig this. No, I'm just kidding. But I, I was like, I knew it. This was what I was put on earth to do. So sometimes our dreams have to be rerouted too, because our ambition can often be our own worst enemy.